again to my YouTube channel. My name is Ria. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, you're highly welcome. I know this video is long overdue. Let's just get right into the video, okay? This is one story that's very dear to my heart. I've only told a very few people this story, but today I'm actually quite ready to share this story with the rest of you, okay, with the rest of the world. And I hope that someone learns something or two from this particular video. I hope it helps you make better decisions than I did make during my own time. In today's video, I'm talking about my employment permit journey for like the last 2 years, everything that it has been, how I was refused, how I later got approved. But before I talk about this story, I know some of you are wondering, like, you can't just pop out from nowhere after 3 months and you come and talk about your employment permit. We don't know what you've been up to, what's the life update with you, are you okay? I got a few emails from people asking, like, are you okay, what's wrong, you're not posting on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for all of you. But just to give you a very brief summary of what's been happening in my life. So my life updates, I have been saving money, I have been working hard for money. Like, if you don't know, I'm on this 10,000 euros saving journey on my TikTok. If you don't follow me on my TikTok, I don't know what you're waiting for. So that's what's been occupying most of my time. I have been working and been taking a lot of shifts. During the course of this particular video, like my employment permit, you understand like what I do, where I work. So that particular journey, my finances all has taken a huge part of my life, like the last 3-4 months. Another life update with me would be the fact that I was on a very serious creative block. I think I just really got so tired and bored of immigration content. I felt like I had put out everything that there is to know about Ireland. There isn't so much new information when it comes to Ireland and its immigration laws actually put out all the time, and that's why I actually took a step back and I'm just like, you know what, like, I'm repeating the same things, like I'm putting out kind of the same videos, like recycling. I wasn't having fun doing it anymore, and I just thought, you know what, I'll just take a break from it and see how I feel in the next couple of months, if I'm okay to continue this kind of content. I know that most of you actually did follow me based upon my immigration content, and that's not something I'm going to take away from you guys at all. But moving forward, I also want to incorporate lifestyle like I used to do. Like when I started my YouTube channel, I was a lifestyle vlogger. I was doing vlogs. Even if they were not doing well, I was so happy doing them. That's the side of me that I enjoy. Like, I love to create lifestyle content that were not restrictive, like vlogs, talks on my channel, just different things, and I enjoyed them better. But when I switched over to only immigration content, my channel started to do a lot better. I got more subscribers, more views, it made me more money. But it got just very tiring at some point. I think that's just the word. So moving forward, I'm still going to be putting out immigration content, but I still also want to incorporate my lifestyle content, vlogs here and there, talks here and there, just to keep my overall creative mind working much more better than only immigration content. And I hope that you all do understand and you watch my videos regardless, okay? Now that we have this very little life updates out of the way, now let's talk about why you're actually here. So my employment permit story, this is how it goes. Sometime in 2019, I actually came to Ireland to study for my master's here. I finished my master's in 2020, and then I got a job like a customer service advisor role with a company in Cork. I was still in Cork at the time, and then I was doing the job. And you know, like, once you're done with your school, your stamp 1G, which is your graduate visa, starts to count, okay? And you had 2 years to be able to look for a job that would sponsor you in the country, and then you now actually, you know, move to a stamp 1, which is now like a work visa, okay? So when I was working as a customer service advisor after school, I got a job offer with another company in Dublin, you know, as a scheduler, like a client care coordinator for a healthcare company. And so I moved over to Dublin. This was in 2021 September, and I was working with this particular company for like over a year. And then the conversation of, you know, my employment permit came up, and they were actually looking to sponsor me. They did actually sponsor me. We tried everything that we could to actually get me sponsored, okay, but it didn't work out. So we had applied, I think this was like in June or July of 2022, and normally like you get like a response in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even like 8 weeks at most, you know. But mine took like 12 weeks and I still didn't get any response. I was sending emails to immigration asking like what's happening. Like I put in an application, you know, I worked with an agency actually. We put in an application, you know, we went through the whole process and we're applying for like a general employment permit. What's going on? And they were like, oh, it's taking a lot more time than usual. There's a high volume of applications. Long story cut short. So I think September 10th, I'll never forget, September 10th 2022, in the morning I was just there and I just got an email saying that they had refused my employment permit. My world crashed. You guys, I cried. I cried like a child. I cried like a baby. I was so confused because I thought that we had done everything right. Especially like when you're in this immigration space, you kind of feel like you're a little bit much more confident in how this is going to go. You feel like you have this all sorted out, like it's done and dusted, like you're just waiting for them to send you your permit, your visa, okay? But then when the verdict came out, they had refused me. That day I spoke to my mom, I spoke to everyone I could speak, so I was like, what's going on here? And then the company I was working with at the time, they were like, you know, we could try again, maybe just appeal, because I had the right to appeal. But I think at the time, and this is where my advice is going to come in, please try to have a little bit more patience in whatever you do in life. I'm not one with the most patience, like I lack it, and it's really, really bad. Honestly, it's so bad. I lack patience and I just couldn't wait. I was just like, you know what, my stamp 1G was going to be expiring July of the next year, and this happened October of that particular year, 2022. I'm just like, you know what, I can't wait, I don't want to wait. You know what, let me just go into healthcare. Everyone is doing healthcare, and everyone that goes into healthcare is actually getting their permits. You know, different stories, different lines at the end will also get to the end goal, which is to kind of, you know, get your citizenship in the country. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not waiting, that's it, let me go and, you know, apply for healthcare jobs. So I just boned that particular company. I resigned. I did things with so much, it was so drastic. I didn't really calm down to think about it, and so I left that company. I resigned and I started applying for healthcare jobs. I applied to like over 30 healthcare jobs. Let me tell you, healthcare jobs at the time itself were even tough to come by. Like I attended interviews. What was tough was them actually assuring that they were going to sponsor you, and that's what I needed. I didn't have time, or so I thought at the time, okay? So I applied to different companies. I attended different interviews. I just was looking for the one. Because of my experience with my former company, I was very direct during my interviews. I was like, I need, you know, employment permit. Like, is this something that you guys are willing to do? You know, how long is it going to take before it's been done? You know, questions like that, just to help me decide the next company that I was going to be going to. Okay, so I applied and I got different jobs, but then I picked one particular one where I had seen like about 10 people, like 10 black people, 10 Africans being sponsored, and like he gave me a lot more certainty. And then after speaking with the HR and some other people, they were like of the opinion that it was going to happen. It was probably going to take a few months, but like they were going to sponsor me. Okay, so I went to that particular company. So now, from someone that was working all the time, like I was working from home like 100%, mostly like 98% honestly, because even after COVID, when we had resumed, when I started with that other former company where I was working as a scheduler, we stopped going into the office as frequent as, so most of my time at work was actually from home. I was working remotely, so having to switch from doing like a remote job into another sector, one, that I have never done before, two, like you have to be going in all the time. The hours were kind of like almost the same, you know, so the hours were not really a problem. I started the other one at 8 o'clock and finished at 6:30, and then with the healthcare, you know, it's 12 hours, 8 to 8 kind of thing. But now the difference was that I was doing a lot more physical activity with the healthcare one. I wasn't sleeping right. My house was very far from the place I was supposed to be working, so I had to be taking 2 buses, sometimes 3 buses. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get to work by 8. Sometimes I even get to work like 8:10, you know, because the buses are late. And then coming back home after work is the same thing. I get home like 10:30 and I have to sleep, get ready, and still leave the house again for 5 the next day. It was a lot on my body. It dealt with me mentally, like my esteem, everything. Like I allowed myself be drowned in whatever it is that I was feeling at the time. I was just was not a happy girl again at all. I was just so focused on like, oh my god, let me just get this job out, let me just work, you know. And in the country here in Ireland, like if you are being sponsored by a particular company, you have to do like 1 year mandatory with them, like you have to be there for 1 year, except on exceptional circumstances where maybe you were being fired or like, you know, you were laid off or something. In issues like that, you don't have to stay there for like the complete first year. But if that nothing is wrong with you or your employer, like you now actually have to be in that particular company for like a year at least, and then you can decide to leave as long as you find another company that's willing to sponsor you. Okay, so this was in 2022 November. I had started with this particular healthcare company and I was working with them. I think in February 2023, just so like 2-3 months, they had already put in my application for my employment permit. And I can remember that period, I was like, oh my god, please, like every part of me just wanted to really get that job. I was so like, I want this, sorry, not the job, I had already gotten the job. I wanted to get the permit. I was like, God, please just do it for me. I needed my stamp one to start counting. I just wanted to feel like I was settled in the country, you know. And at a point, like a part of me was like, I cannot be telling people about immigration, like I cannot be doing immigration content because me myself, I didn't feel settled in the country. So what kind of advice am I going to give to other people? Like, what am I even doing this particular niche for? Like, I doubted a lot of things. I won't tell you, I struggled. I sincerely struggled. So yeah, in February 2023, they had applied for my employment permit for me, and in March or so, yeah, by March I think, or so, yeah, or April 1st, I think April 1st, yeah, it came out and I got my employment permit. I was so happy. Like that day, I will never forget that day. Like I was just like, I can breathe. Like if you've been through like immigration process where like you're waiting for like a decision and you've been denied before and you're just hoping like, would this go through, like would this work, and then it actually works for you, like you will just be like, oh my god, I can breathe now, I feel settled, I feel much more rested in this place. Do you understand? So the verdict came out on that particular day and it was just like, you know, congratulations, employment permits granted. I was so happy. And then I applied for my GNIB, you know, card and I got it. And like even now this year had also renewed. So right now I'm like in my second year of employment permit and I'm still so happy about it. So this is actually just my employment permit story. I wanted to be just a little bit vulnerable, but at the same time also share my experience and see if that helps any one of you. My advice looking back at this particular journey would be, number one, please do have patience. Okay, have patience. It's so important, trust me, it's so important. It helps you not to make very drastic decisions that you may or may not regret in the future. But I'm a firm believer of everything happens for a reason. I try not to regret whatever has happened. It may not look like it's the best decision for me right now, but it's something that I'm like, you know what, God allowed it to happen. There's a reason for it. I'm such a God girl, so like I'm like, nothing happens by chance, nothing happens by mistake. Okay, you are in the right place that you're supposed to be in at the time according to your destiny. Okay, so now that's not to say that, you know, this is where I want my journey to end. Okay, I still want to be able to transition. Like I'm even already on the verge of transitioning into something else, something like maybe project management. And this is why I say that when you're coming into a country, whatever country that is, please be very careful. Like I say this a lot and people think that's a joke. Please be very careful of the course choice that you're coming to study. Like just make sure that whatever course you're coming to study in that country is actually something that's needed. It's something that there are a lot of job opportunities, you know, things that you can work with. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So have patience, make the right choice when you're actually coming to study. Also hold God, because now I'm just summarizing this particular video in like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is, but this is a 2-year journey. This journey took a while. It took a long process. It took a lot of emotions in it, a lot of tears, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of low self-esteem, a lot of things for me to actually get to the point where I'm able to share this story. And this story is kind of like, you know, like my own testimony. Okay, it's like my own testimony and my own thanksgiving as well. I'm just really grateful for where I am, and things will be better moving forward from now. But yeah, this is my employment permit story, and I hope that it touches one of you. Honestly, I hope that you kind of enjoyed this little story time, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we are kind of now back to posting on YouTube. I'm going to try and edit this video tonight so that you guys will see it tomorrow. So this video is like in real time, it's very current. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and I don't know what else to say. I give God all the glory is all I would say. Really, I give God all the glory. I hope that this video actually helps you to make the right decision, and also to those that kind of like just holding on to God and say like, when will I get my own permit, like it's just on the way. It will take time. It might take time. For some people it doesn't take time at all, for some people it does take time, but when it happens you'll be so glad that you actually waited. You'll be happy when it actually arrives. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in a few days with another video. Okay, bye guys. Mwah. Ciao ciao.